Good day, good day, good day, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Good day, mommy. I love today's text. Today is my mother's mother, my grandmother's birthday in heaven. So, March 7th, happy birthday, Grandma. I know that she is with us, watching over us, and I feel her presence often. Good day, Ron. Great rising to you also, my brother. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for joining me today for Sit with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where the perfection, Margaretta, is in the practice. So we practice and practice and practice and practice. And as Mark Nepo says, life is an endless practice. So we're all in it for the practice, Tim. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So good day. I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend. I had a weekend filled with celebrations and one upsetting thing, but I'm going to focus on the celebration. So we're celebrating birthdays all weekend between my girlfriend Deborah and Susan in Long Island, and then yesterday Margaretta and I, Gladys, Taronda, we were all celebrating Taronda and Gladys's birthday. So, and I have some news that I'm going to share in Joy News regarding Gladys. So stay tuned for that. So it's Monday. We are in a new week, and most Mondays we do a new series. So I was contemplating this morning what the new series would be. I didn't get a download this morning. And usually when that happens, when I wake up, I just keep it moving, do my spiritual practice, and just pay attention, right? Just pay attention, right? So that's what I did today. And as I was doing so, I found my previous journal. So I had been looking for my previous journal before my cosmic journal, the one that I'm in now, and I couldn't find it. So I look over, I'm like on my bed in my office. I look over, and there it is right there on a stack of books. So it looks like a book when it's in a stack of books. So I just thought it was a book. And then I realized, oh, shoot, that's my old journal. So I was looking for something. And so I started looking through that, looking for something. And my eye kept going to things that I had written down that I wanted to do last year, right? And so I started getting caught up in that, like goals that I had set for myself for last year, and also found my 2021 year of winning list, right? So this is in essence like my goals for 2021. And I was like reading through it, and I was started like saying, yes, that happened. Yes, that happened. Yes, that happened. Yes, that happened, right? So I have 16 things here. And I would say more than the majority of these things have come into fruition. And so that got me to thinking, because you know that I'm going to be teaching a new class, Practicing the Presence of Abundance. And it's based on the book by Edwin Gaines, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, right? So let's see if you can see it. Can't see it good, it's a glare. But there we go. The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines. And so one of the laws is about goal setting, right? The first law is about tithing. And I talked about that yesterday at service at Rockland. And the second law is about goal setting. And in essence, that's what my year of winning joy list is, right? It's a list of goals that I wanted to experience last year. And like I said, the majority of them came true. I experienced in one way or another. So I'm doing that. I'm kind of reminiscing, being grateful for all of those things. And then I went to do my inspirational reading. And then I couldn't find my book that I usually use for my inspirational reading. I was like, what is happening? Right. So my inspirational reading for 2022, I'm doing another 365-day book, and it's a book called Jesus Calling. And I couldn't find it. Right. So I said, okay, let me just find something else to read. So I picked up this pamphlet. So Sekou has mentioned this often, and I mentioned it. And excuse me, it's called It Works by RHJ, right? And it's a really small pamphlet, and it's on Sekou's list, his Amazon wish list, because he gives this pamphlet to the unhoused, right? So I said, well, let me just read through this because you can read this in like 15 minutes. So I'm going through this, and this one word keeps jumping out at me, and the word is earnest, right? Earnest. I keep saying that word, earnest. I was like, that's a really interesting word, right? It's not a word that we commonly use, earnest. When was the last time you used earnest in a sentence? We don't really use that word that often, right? So, you know how I take everything like as a message from the universe, right? So I said, okay, universe, are you trying to tell me something with this word earnest? And I said, okay, if it's on the next page, then Ernest is going to be our new series for this week. Sure enough, there it was on the next page, right? So I said, okay, that's where we're going. So our new series this week is Ernest. Okay, so let's unpack this. So the definition for earnest is serious and zealous in intention, purpose, or effort, showing depth and sincerity of feelings, seriously important, demanding of receiving serious attention, demanding of receiving serious attention. The origins of the word is pledge, right? Middle English pledge. And I also want to read the noun of the word. The noun of the word earnest means anything that gives pledge, promise, or indication of what is to follow. So I like all of that. I like all of that. What I would like for us to link into with that definition is intention and sincerity of feeling. Intention and sincerity of feeling. All of it's important, right? And then also an indication of what is to follow. Earnest, right? And I would like for us to think about this in context of our quality, right? Because we're on the journey this year. Everyone has their 2022 quality or qualities. Some of us have more than one. And we've been unpacking that, right? We've been cultivating it, right? We've been breathing it in, right? We've been earnest about it, right? Earnest about our quality. So we started first, how? By picking a quality, right? Something that resonated with us for whatever reason, right? We made a decision, we made a choice. This is my quality, right? Same thing with goals, right? You have to choose what you want to focus on, right? So the next thing we did with our quality is we created an affirmation, right? So my qualities this year are wholeness, trust, and then experiencing in that curiosity, courage, and celebration, right? So one of my affirmations, I am wholeness, right? And we make that into an incantation by putting feeling into it. Like, what is the feeling tone? And we know with things that you're earnest about, there has to be a sincerity of feeling. So you can't fake the funk, right? So, there's this saying like, fake it till you make it. That doesn't really resonate with me, right? Really get in the feeling tone, right? Really get into the feeling tone of it, right? So we got our affirmation, we have our incantation, and then we created what? A visioning board. Those of you who did the visioning board with me a couple of weeks ago, right? Just visualizing, right? By tuning into God's idea about our quality expressing through and as us, right? Through and as us. So, this week we're going to add on to this, add on to our quality, continue to build out our quality, right? So, my first question is, do you feel earnest about your quality? How are you feeling about your quality? Because it's important, right? The seriousness and the intention, right? The sincerity of the feeling. And the reason why it's important because it's an indication of what is to follow. All of that is wrapped into earnest, right? An indication of what is to follow. So I could use 2021 as the example, right? I have my quality. I have my year of winning list, right? And I focused on this every single day. It was part of my spiritual practice. Yes. And I was earnest about it. I was serious. My feeling tone was sincere. And what followed, right, is an indication of what is to follow. What followed was the things that I had written down on my year of winning list. Now, was it smooth sailing throughout? Was every day just, woo, yes, you got this, girl? No, no, it was not like that. It was not like that. But because we are earnest about it, we don't allow ourselves to go too far off, right? Say, oh, forget it, give up. Oh, this is not going to happen for me, right? We stay the course. Even when we get a little bump in the road, we still stay the course. Because bumps in the road, you could ride over them, right? You could ride over most bumps in the road. So we ride over those bumps in the road and we stay earnest about our quality. So this is what we're going to do, right? Because your quality is a pledge that you have made to yourself about how you are showing up in the world. Yes? And there are no limitations to that. The only limitation there is the limitation that we put on ourselves, right? So when I do my list, and I'm still formulating my list for 2022, I'm usually done by March, but it's taking a little longer and it's okay. So the only limitations we put on it are the limitations that we put on it ourselves. So we know that the universe is unlimited. There's infinite possibilities, right? And I can say that most of the things that happened for me last year were not the specific things that I had on my list. They were better than the things that I had on my list. It was like this or something better, right? But it was all within the expression of my quality, all in the expression of my quality. So I want to read something to you from the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity. So this is the second law, the law of goal setting. This is what Edwene writes. She says, one of the main reasons people don't reach for their goals is that they believe there is something about themselves that will prevent them from getting whatever it is that they really want in their deepest heart of hearts. Perhaps you think you're too old to have all the things you really want, or too young. You're too happy. You're too heavy. You're too skinny. A woman or a minority group, too tired, too broke, married to the wrong person, or not married at all. But these statements are all lame cop outs. and they aren't what's truly keeping you from getting it, and they're not truly keeping you from getting what you want. You must move beyond these limiting self-perceptions and step into the role of who you really truly are. Stepping into the role of who you really truly are, right? And we established that. Who are we? Who are you? That was day one in the 30-day mental diet, right? Day one. Who are you, right? We are the individualized expressions of the divine, right? We are the children of God, right? So we already know who we are. Don't forget, we already know who we are, right? She goes on to write, imagine what your life would be like if you could do anything you wanted without any constraints and limits. Don't worry about how these things will come to you. The how of it is none of your concern. God knows the how. And I've said that many, many times because it's a principle. If you start reading a lot of books and you see the same things over and over and over and over and over again, it is principle. It is principle. It is the law. It is truth with a capital T, right? So when you think about your quality, are you thinking about it in the context of what it is that you want, what it is that you want to express as your quality? So that's what we're going to focus on this week. What is it that you want to express as your quality? And we're going to unpack that some more. Also consider who are you as your quality, right? Who are you as your quality? You are limitless. You are fierce. You are determined. And now we're packing on. You are earnest about your quality and about what it is that you want to experience as that quality. Now I want to read one other thing, and this is from It Works. And I will tell you, you can download this. It's on, you could go online and just put in It Works by RHJ, and you can download a PDF of it. Okay. This is what he says. You must be really earnest about what you want. Occasional wishing or half-hearted wanting does not form a perfect connection or communication with your omnipotent power. You must be in earnest, sincerely, and truthfully desiring certain condition or things, mental, physical, or spiritual. So we're not talking about wishing for things, right? We're talking about being earnest, being intentional, right? Being deliberate in what it is that we are co-creating, right? All right, y'all. So that's where we are. We're going to continue on this journey, our earnest journey all week. Do your homework. You have your quality. Start to tap into what it is that you want. What are your goals for yourself as they relate to your quality and how you want to experience that in the world? Okay? All right. And remember, you get out what you get in. So if you're just going to watch SIP and do nothing, then guess what? You fill in the blank. All right? All right. All right. So let's get into some joy news. Okay. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Oh, Jay Renee, I see you. What is the name of the book to download? It is called It Works by RHJ. It Works by RHJ. And you could buy it too. I like buying the booklet, the little pamphlet. So this is like maybe $4, I think, on Amazon. So if you want like a pretty little book, then you could order it. All right. So I hope everyone had a good weekend. I hope that all right, let me get into it. So this is what's going on that I want to share in Joy News. Tomorrow, y'all, it's here. It is here. March 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Apollo Theater. It seemed so far away when this first happened, but now it's tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And it just so happened, Margaretta and I yesterday were right across the street from the Apollo Theater. And we waited until the marquee said the event, and then I took pictures of it. So that's in my stories on Facebook. So it is called the Healing, Joy, Liberation, Mental Health and the Arts. So this is an amazing event. I am representing joy. I'll be talking about joy. I'm on a panel talking about joy as a liberating energy that we can use that is already within us, right? And then on top of that, I am the grand finale. I will be closing out the event. I am so like beyond the moon about that. So thank you. So the event is sold out for live in person, but you can watch live stream. So it will be live stream. The link is on my website. Go to revmelissa.com. It's also in my social media. So click on the link, 7 p.m. tomorrow. So some folks have been texting me saying they clicked on a link and nothing happened. Guess what? It's a live stream. So if you click on the link now, nothing will be happening. So click on the link tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. So thank y'all for the love and the congratulations about that. Very excited. And just to prove my point, it's one of the things that I have on not to be at the Apollo specifically, right? But to have more opportunities to express who I am in the world, right? And so the Apollo thing happened, right? And then on my vision board, I have this 3 things to look forward to this year: transformative and transcendence, next level living, and then this one: join these keynote speakers at the largest women's conference in the country. So I'm counting all of that, right, as a demonstration already of my quality of wholeness, trust, curiosity, celebration, and courage. Right? So don't get caught up in the how. There's no way in the world I could have thought that I would be at the Apollo Theater on March 8th, 2022, when I did my year of winning list last year. Right? All right. Let me go on. Living life in joy. Oh my goodness. If you missed yesterday's show with Angela Corley, you missed it. Angela is a food scientist. She is an amazing woman. She started another organization called the George Washington Carver Food Research Institute. She is doing it in the world, making a difference. So please, if you have not, I'd never heard of a food scientist before. She's my first one that I ever met. I didn't even know it existed. And she's being of service in the world. So please check out the interview yesterday, Living Life in Joy. And then this week, we're going to continue celebrating Women's History Month. We have another dynamic woman. who is about her business. She's connected to her yes, and she is making a difference in the world. So tune in for that, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. Then we have our Sunday in Praise. We had a wonderful service yesterday, unpacking tithing, right? The law of tithing. And so the topic was tithing and God we trust. It says it on all our money, right? And God we trust. So tithing is a powerful spiritual practice that we use to receive and to give, to receive and to give, right? So please check out yesterday's sermon. This Sunday, I continue with our March theme, God is my source. Our service is 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You go to rocklandcsl.org and you will get the Zoom link. Just click on Sunday service, or you can watch us on Facebook Live. We live stream on Facebook every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And let me just say this, the thing about tithing, it can be very controversial for people, but tithing is about trusting God. It's not about money. It's about trusting that God is your source. And so we tithe where we are spiritually fed. We tithe where we are spiritually fed. And tomorrow I'm going to share a little bit about something that we do every year at Rockland CSL called the Unexpected Income Prosperity Program. So we started that on March 2nd. So I'm going to share more about that tomorrow. Okay, we have a class coming up. I mentioned practicing the presence of abundance based on the book by Edwin Gaines, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. It starts March 15th. Next week, y'all. It starts next Tuesday. Wow. So next Tuesday, March 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to, we got to get this on my website. But right now, you could go to rocklandcsl.org and register there. The investment is $125. And anyone from my congregation of joy that registers this week, let's say by Thursday, I will send you the book. There's a free brand new book of the four spiritual laws of prosperity. So register by Thursday, and this book is yours. You don't have to go out and get the book. All right? All right. Last thing I want to share is a save the date, May 22nd. I will be the keynote speaker at a women's empowerment brunch called Control Alt Delete. And that is taking place on May 22nd, 11:30 to 4:30, in person at the Poconos Summit, Pennsylvania. It's $35, and the information is on my website. So please check out my website, revmelissa.com. Find out what I'm doing, what's going on. You could click in for the Joy Store and get some Joy merchandise, right? Like the Sip Joy mug. Yes, yes, yes. So all that wonderfulness. Oh my goodness, I talked a lot today. It's almost 10:30. So I'll check in. We'll check in tomorrow. I will see you all tomorrow. We're going to continue with our earnest series. Thank you all. I see your comments. I'll respond to the ones that require some response to it. Peace and blessing, everybody. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.